Okay, welcome to my first broadcast for Spain. I apologize for the delay in doing these videos. The problem I'm having is I set them up on YouTube, then it's very difficult to open them in Google Plus because this is the Google Plus Hangout. But what I found is if I turn around and set it up in Google Plus, it'll automatically go through to YouTube, which is why I've cancelled the one before this.
Hey, welcome to my first broadcast for Spain.
Okay, that tells me it's going through YouTube. It's just gone live on the window I had open. If you've got any questions on these, please feel free just to message me. There's Q&As when you see these coming up. If you go through to the Google Plus page, the Hangout page, you can actually add your questions. And if you put them, if it's quite complicated, give me a chance to actually find out the right answer for you. Tonight, this is a bit of a test, but also I'm going to be moving the Spain stuff over to another channel, which is AlicanteSpain.net. The reason being is there's a lot of interest in the Philippine stuff, and there's a lot of interest on the Spanish stuff. I think it's best to separate the two so that everybody's happy. It stops people asking me questions about the Philippines when, like this video, it's about Spain. So we'll do the first 30 minutes. Well, it might be a little bit short, this one, because obviously there's nobody viewing at the minute, because this was something I put together halfway through the week. But first thing I want to talk about is doing your paperwork processing in Spain. A lot of people here are quite elderly, and I do believe that things aren't as complicated as people need it to be. But also I do find if you do need assistance, people like myself are available. And I've got no problem with spending a bit of time talking somebody through some paperwork or coming down and helping where I can. Next thing I want to talk about is why I live in Spain. From my personal viewpoint, I was back in the UK last year, well, for about 2 years now, and it's just not for me. I'll be honest with you, it's not for me. But there is so much opportunity. If you make money online, for example, I can't see why you'd want to be in the UK. Spain offers weather, it's got fantastic sports facilities, a lot of natural beauty. Cost of living is a lot cheaper than the UK, and I find people are generally happy. Probably because more people in holiday mode, but generally people are a lot happier here. From my personal viewpoint, that's why I would say Spain's pretty good. I mean, like today, we got up this morning. Kids are a bit jumpy. They've had the holiday here because they're off Friday, off Monday, so they've got a long weekend. So we're like, okay, we'll take them down the beach. Now, the beach for us, walk out the front door, turn left, and we're on the beach. In the UK, we don't have that. Nearest beach is 2 to 3 hours drive. With everybody doing it on a bank holiday, you're expecting at least 3 hours traffic on each way, if not a lot more. If you hit it wrong on the way back, could be 8 hours traffic, especially if you get a crash somewhere near Taunton or something. So this is why I love Spain. Myself, I haven't been here a long time. We've been here since last November. Well, last December. We're in France, November. But I like everything here. The food's fantastic. The people are friendly. And generally things are more laid back. There's people aren't so stressed about things. We had a water tank that, well, we had the upstairs apartment flood our apartment because what they had is they had some cowboy builders in, put a air conditioning unit in, but they put the condensing pipe into the floor, from what I heard, and all their water from the air conditioning running went through our lights, damaged our copper pipework, damaged our lighting system, blew all our lights off, etc. And in the UK, you're not going to be so laid back when somebody does that to you. But here, you're just like, okay, let's just get it fixed. What's the issue? Got a very good friend that's a good builder. He came around on a Sunday, got it sorted, and we were back up and running on Monday. Still got some work to get done because we're waiting on the insurance to come out. But it's not so stressful. You know, UK, you need everything done because everybody's in a rush. Here, doesn't get it fixed for a month, who cares? As long as you've got food, a roof over your head, who cares? A lot more laid back, and I'll be honest with you, it's something I'm much happier being in. You know, okay, from business, it's not the most fantastic way to work and live, but at the same time, you adapt to it. You expect things not to go well. Internet, for example. The internet here is diabolical. It's supposed to be 10 meg. We're lucky we get 1 meg. Is there any point complaining? The answer is no. They're not going to change it. They're not going to upgrade it because it's supposed to be 10 meg already. All they're going to go is, oh, we'll send someone to have a look at it, knowing full well it will make no difference whatsoever. What's the point? All we do is just go, okay, that's what it is. We move to another area, internet. So what I do to often with some system, I would check which areas have got the cable because that's probably the best to go. Importantly, there. I've got this 10 megabyte system. You got all in it, so you might be next no 800 kilobytes if you're lucky. Like, so what was the point of me filling in those forms to see this? I'm just an engineer telling you that get where I need. So about thinking about it, what you need to do to tell me this, let me go and ask the neighbors. Let me ask the computer shop 2 doors down in the next street. They'll tell me who was good because they've got an internet cafe in there. One thing not to do is rely on salespeople. That was my mistake because I needed internet up and running as quick as possible. As such, I was let down big time. Can I blame the company? I would say it's down to regulations. The sales here are not regulated the same way the UK is. Although the UK is just as bad these days. It's very hard to get out of a contract. They tie you into these 18-month contracts and whatever because they dangle a carrot. We'll give you a free tab. We'll give you a free phone. We'll give you 6 months free. And then it becomes very hard to get out of the contracts, even when they don't perform, because they research not how to be a good salesperson and abide by the regulations to the benefit of your customers. They look to what they legally have to do to provide. You know, for example, if they said, right, we've got to get a minimum of 10% of what we say we're selling, like say it's 10 meg, minimum we've got to get is 100 kilobytes, then as far as they're concerned, they don't have to deliver 100 kilobytes. Yes, they know they'll lose a customer at some point, but they're hoping you'll just put up with it. Now, I may sound a bit negative on this, but I've been out to the Philippines where these problems are pretty much in everything. You know, it's not just internet, it's everything. You know, if it stops working, you have major problems getting it fixed. You're talking 3-4 months sometimes to get somebody out to actually look at it. I remember my telephone cable, the telegraph pole had come down in a storm, so it's sort of like that. It's leaning right over. So I actually took photos and sent it to the telephone company on Twitter, because I tried already for like a month or so, no response, and I took photos of it. You know, cable was only like 3 foot, 4 foot from the ground. The neighbor was on about cutting it so he could use it as a washing line, because he assumed it was actually not being used because it was hanging on his gate. You know, it was that bad. But still took them a long time to come and fix it. And once they fixed it, it only worked a week again. Poor infrastructure. Now, I know some parts of Spain are like that. In La Mata, because we're right on the coast, we're going to have poor infrastructure compared to the bigger cities. But I also know, talk to the engineer, that up to the main roundabout, there's actually cable, so you can get fast internet from there. But this end, no hope at the moment. Also, because we're not a high density population, because although there's lots of houses here, most of them are for tourists. Most of them don't need internet because they're not occupied all year round. So you've got that problem, that we're so remote. Even though we're in quite a large area, I mean, I don't know how many thousands of apartments are here, but the fact is we're not a high volume customer. So as such, we're a bit stretched. Which also gets me onto something you might have picked up this week about the Romanians. They've been busy causing a train crash and been stealing the copper pipe, which actually is part of the problem. Stealing the copper from the rail, the telephones, the electrics has caused major problems in Spain. I think the rail crash will be the turning point, because I was talking to my wife about this the other day. Yes, my wife and also a friend of ours, Gordon, and his wife May. It's a bit like Torrevieja when they have the market on. The pickpockets don't steal your passports. They will generally take the money and drop the wallet. Now, a lot of people would assume that it's purely because they don't want to be caught with all the wallets. But the reality is, if people started having their documents stolen that they need to go home, etc., it becomes an international incident. As such, you start gaining the interest of all the embassies, because they'll start going, well, this isn't on. I've got 20 people in here that are all complaining their stuff got stolen. What are you going to do about it, Spain? And then it creates a crackdown. Same seems to have happened with the copper. They've been stealing hundreds of millions of euros of copper for quite a while now. There was a gang caught. There was 51 people caught. 50 of them are from Romania. And they caught I think it was about 15, 20 vehicles, at least 12 of them were vans, full to the roof with stolen copper pipe. It all seems to be heading to China. There's a shortage in China, which is spiking the price. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to be a Spanish problem as such. It seems to be people coming in from Romania. Same with all these pickpockets. They're not locals. If anybody knows any Spanish people that do pickpocketing, please let me know, because from what I've seen, it seems to be people heading in for the tourist seasons. And it'd be nice to actually be proactive in stopping these people even coming here. They're a blight on the tourism for Spain, and they have no morals or ethics. They're basically just stealing from everybody. Well, that's enough on that. It's a bit negative. On a positive note, the over at Alicante Airport, because you've got to pay. You know, they've got the payment system with the barriers. 15 minutes is free. The other prices, I'll get a picture. I've got a picture on my phone somewhere of the different rates for the different times. Bear in mind, this is for short-term stay. This isn't you're not supposed to sit there for 4 hours or whatever. The reason all this was implemented, a lot of people were going, oh, well, it's a tax thing, you know, they're trying to rip people off at the airport. People were leaving their cars there for 2 weeks and going on holiday. There was nothing they could do about it because there's no signage or anything up there. So this is where this has come from. People were abusing it to the absolute max. I parked my car at the airport, not right outside in those bays, but actually in one of the paid car parks for a long stay. And the drivers there were telling me about it. You know, they're saying, well, it's because people have been leaving their cars a long time, just leaving it outside the airport and going off on a flight. So I completely understand that. I will also say, if you're grumbling about the price, take a look at Birmingham Airport. Talk about rip-off Britain. Birmingham Airport, even just dropping somebody off without even stopping, costs you £1. I think one of my friends dropped somebody off near the airport, but not actually in the airport, and he got fined £80 for doing it. Doesn't really matter. They're not actually trying to do anything bad. They're actually trying to go to the airport. Charging £1 just to drop somebody off, I think, is excessive. But that's the divide between Heathrow and Birmingham. I know myself, I fly from Heathrow to go to the Philippines because the price ticket is often £200 cheaper than Birmingham Airport. Now, bear in mind, I can get on a National Express bus for about £30, £40, and I can get an open return for about 45, I think. I can get down to Heathrow on a plane and off to the Philippines and save myself at least £150. Why does Birmingham charge so much? Where's all that money going? That's what I'm asking. Heathrow is in London. Why is Birmingham more expensive? Because it does damage the business. Personally, I wouldn't fly goods out of Birmingham because they're charging too much. It may sound a bit unfair, but you have to ask, why are the people shipping all their stuff down to London to send it out? Because Birmingham's rates are much higher than Heathrow and probably the other airports. Not an expert on it, but I do know personally I prefer flying from London because it's cheaper. The flights to Alicante, etc., there ain't a lot in it because they're cheap flights. Going to the Philippines is much more because the flights are a minimum about 450 up to and over £1,000 a ticket. But paying £200 extra on airport duty, I don't think there's any excuse for it. I can't see why an area that's got cheaper housing, cheaper land, etc., can charge such an excessive fee. But back to Spain. So this is just the first video. I'm going to move. Like I said, I'm going to move this over to Alicante, AlicanteSpain.net own channel, so that these can be followed up over there. So, but this is the first one. I'll schedule the next one after this one. So if you've got any Q&As, you can add the Q&As, and I'll research them for you. But this is just a sample. See if anybody gets interested in it, see if it's something you want to talk about, and please feel free to get involved. Thanks for watching.